Radikal Ra with Radical Solutions, and we've got a special episode for you today. This episode is going to be about the Lumi, which I think was going to be of special interest to, well, everybody, you know, in the African diaspora, especially entrepreneurs. Yes, it is, I would say, a fairly new currency. It's both digital and physical, and it's not cryptocurrency, so you know it's different from crypto. So I will introduce you to representatives of the Lumi nation, the Lumi empire. And I'm going to start with Mariama first, and she's the UK director of promotions and marketing in the UK. So hi Mariama, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Radikal.
Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got involved with Lumi.
Well, how I first got involved with the Lumi was with a group that I was part of initially. It was just a women's group, and everybody was asking questions. You know, we found out about it from one of our members, and we wanted to know more. I wanted more answers. So I decided to set up a separate group just for people that wanted to know, what is this Lumi? What is it all about? What can we do with it? You know, some of the typical questions that any normal person would ask. So we proceeded to set up a meeting, a Zoom meeting with the creator of the Lumi, Chief Timothy McPherson, and he kindly came and addressed a very small number of us. I don't think there was more than maybe 15 people in the Zoom meeting at the time. And we asked some very pertinent questions about the Lumi and, you know, how it started and all of these things that you want to know, and where you know, how can it benefit our lives? You know, we asked all these questions, and he answered all of them. He told us, you know, how it started and everything. And from there, I said, well, I'm going to sign up for the Lumi. So I registered. After registering, I was at a place where I thought, well, hold on a minute. What now? What now? So I asked the person, you know, the person that signed up before me, she didn't introduce me to it, but she signed up before me. So I asked her, so what did you do? What's happening? She said, oh, you just sign up and that's it. I said, oh, okay. And then I met another lady that seemed to be quite active in it. And I asked her, so I've signed up to the Lumi, what now? Because I became an agent, because I said to myself, well, I know I can sign more people up because I'm just that kind of person. I have networks, so I thought I'll sign more people up. But I said, and then what? So that I asked, nobody really answered me. And then I went and did my own research and saw a few things here and there, you know, little meetings, different places, not in one place, in different places.
Okay.
And from there now, I said to myself, you know what? People were asking me questions. The more I researched, the more I found out from all these different places I went to, whether it was about business, opportunities, you know, investments, but in different places. So I think it was just different groups at the time.
Right.
And the website thing is only just starting to happen now. You know, we're at the helm of it, really, Lumi Africa, but there wasn't really websites. It was just Zoom meetings and the organization. Obviously, you know, the state of the African diaspora is a state, and they give you information about how to register for the Lumi. But there wasn't as much information about what we could do with the Lumi once we had it, you know? Okay. And so I was asked by many of the people that I was signing up, or even telling about it, can you, you know, set something up where you can have us all together and we can ask you questions and all this. And at first I was like, oh, well, I'm not sure. Maybe I should get, you know, somebody that knows more. And they were like, no, you know more. Can you do it? They were demanding it. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I started it. I did it once. I did it twice. I did it 3 times, and it just seemed to be growing and growing and growing. And then one day,
you started having your own meetings. You're saying? You started having your own meeting, organizing your own.
Yes.
Meeting. All right.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And with that, going to the larger summit meetings where we have summits every Monday, and it's with the Queen Sheba Ra, it's the Crown Visor, and all the dignitaries. It's the court. It's the Queen's Court. We go there every Monday. I met this beautiful young lady. I didn't know who she was, and she messaged me one day and said, "You know, what are you doing? You know, I'd like to talk to you, get to know you, see what's happening. What are you doing? So we started communicating. I told her about, what I was doing with the, on every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. She came along to one and she said to me afterwards, you know something, I think we need to do this. We need to come together. And then she started showing me what she was about, what she was doing. I was like, wow, this speaks the same language as what I'm dealing with. And here we are, Radical.
Okay.
This young lady right here, Tammy Marseille from South Africa, it's her that I'm talking about. And the rest is history. Here we are.
Yeah.
The whole thing about Timothy McPherson, the whole thing. I mean, I can talk about it from a Caribbean perspective, but I would want Tammy to speak about it from the wider African perspective. So please do, Tammy.
Okay, Tammy, yes, let's hear from you.
Well, I was introduced first to the Lumi by a friend of mine, William Nell. He told me about this, and for 2 to 3 months, I really didn't give any attention to it. I didn't understand it. There was no explanation. So I thought, he's just wasting my time. Until he invited me to Queen Sheba III's summit. That's when I realized this thing, it needs to be given some attention. And that's when I listened. I actually first saw the caliber of the kind of people that were attending there. And I thought, no ways. We can't be having queens and kings here for something that's a fly by night. Mm-hmm. So I gave it attention. And we were also given another link to a SOARD summit. That's where now I met Timothy McPherson. All these things, and most of these things were new to me. First, it was that we have the greatest resource in Africa that we never knew, which is the sun. And the second one was that the sun shines the brightest in Africa. I never knew that. And that as the African continent, we are actually better placed or better positioned to harvest the sun. That was the first. And the third was that this currency was actually backed by solar energy, which makes it sustainable. The fourth one was that fiat has no value at all. I've been using this money for years. I never knew there is no intrinsic value backing it. And that made me now think deeper and make some more research, which is what deepened my interest, in the Lumi. That's when I decided to make some research on it. Also hearing that it's a central bank digital currency, which was also the first, because I was confusing it with cryptocurrency at the time, only to be told it's not. It's nothing like cryptocurrency. It's just a digital currency, but not a cryptocurrency. It's a legal tender issued by a central bank, which makes it have more value. And that's now when I said, I think this needs some attention and it needs some work, because Africans need to know about it, because it's by Africans for Africans. And also what I liked about it, it was uniting these two worlds that actually kind of seemed to be apart, Africa and the diaspora. It was creating a platform for that marriage to happen. It was bridging all that gap that was, where now the African diaspora is coming back and we are getting together to work and build Africa and make Africa to be what we want to be. And, also learning that the fiat currency is going to be collapsing anytime soon made me realize that we have something here that is going to be there for as long as we live, because it's backed by a resource that's not going anywhere. No one can take the sun away from Africa. No one can take this continent from where it is. So it's sustainable, more sustainable than gold or our minerals that are actually getting depleted today. So we have something of intrinsic value here, and we have something that we really need to be proud of, because Lumi is actually launched just at the time where China launched its own digital currency.
Interesting.
Digital currency. So now Lumi has become the second central bank digital currency to be launched after China. But now the most interesting news is that we are currently in over 154 countries within 6 months of our launch. And China is only it's still in one country, which is China. So there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of education to be done. Lumi has about $6 trillion that needs to be distributed to every African citizen, whether they're in the continental Africa or in the diaspora. So there's a lot of work to be done. So far, it has only been distributed to maybe over 200,000. We have 1.7 billion people, 1.4 billion in Africa, plus over 350 million in the diaspora. That makes it 1.7 billion, which makes Africa the largest or the most populated state in the entire world. Now we have the numbers on our side, which is our power right there. And now we are only left with 2.5 years to distribute the Lumi. We are still left with 1.7 billion people to actually introduce into the Lumi. So there's a lot of work to be done, because each and every African has to have the stimulus, has to have this currency, so that we can start building Africa to be how we want it to be.
Definitely, I agree. And I can see definitely, this is something of substance. So knowing that, yes, it's backed by solar energy power, and gold. Now, the thing is, how is it practical for the people on the continent and the Caribbean? Because I mean, we are amongst people who are facing a very hard time at this moment in terms of the lockdowns and COVID and all these things. So how is it helping them practically?
Can I just speak to that part, for this part, for the Caribbean, and because just leading on from what Tammy said regarding the amount of people that are in Africa and her diaspora, I found something very profound. This is another one of the things that made me have to pay more attention to the rollout of the Lumi and the economic stimulus, is that the amount of people that we are in Africa as compared to the diaspora, obviously it's by far millions. But what I found quite profound was when listening to the statistics of the uptake of the Lumi and the registration, Jamaica seemed to be the highest place that it was being rolled out than anywhere else on the globe. That was the last one that I got anyway. I'm not sure what's happened recently, but that's what it was. And I said to myself, what is that? And I noticed by going to those same summit meetings that Jamaicans were very extremely hands-on when it came to empowering their communities, rolling it out. And it made me see that, hold on, it made me ask the question, what about the rest of the Caribbean? What about, how are we working together with Africa to make this a reality? And that's where my head was. And that's hence where the Lumi Africa UK diaspora part came in for myself. And then meeting up with Tammy now and creating that marriage was just the perfect balance for me, because I said to myself, we need to get awareness of this. And when I saw the work that she'd already been trying to do with Lumi Africa, the website, I was like, this is perfect. This is an outlet that we can use to bring everybody up at the same time and create that awareness to all our communities. Hence why I targeted our people. We start off saying South London, because we've got a very massive diaspora population in South London, and that is African and Caribbean. And just with one show, we were able to penetrate those communities. So looking at that, and then looking at the potential for businesses here, and then when speaking to Tammy and looking at the potential of creating the same ecosystems in Africa, and then talking about bringing them together, and looking at how are we going to start trading between ourselves, wherever we are in our localities, and then with each other globally, within our African communities, between Africa and diaspora communities. See what I'm saying? So that's where that part starts for me. And I'm going to let Tammy expand on that. But that's where it starts. Tamar, can you please go ahead and explain some more?
That's a very interesting one, because that's where the work really is. Well, we know about the Lumi, we know the value, we know what it can do for Africa. And the greater part of our work is getting it out there to the people and educating the people about it. Because right now you will find a lot of people who are so used to fiat, when they receive this Lumi, they ask you, what am I going to do about it? Where do I buy with it? You know, that's the kind of mindset we need to shift.
Yes.
Because a lot of our people are so much in the mindset of consumerism. They want to spend, they want to consume. They must now start thinking of building, of investing, of saving, of creating their own ecosystems. Because I'll tell you one thing, capital or money is concentrated in banking. It's concentrated in retail, in insurance, in health. And those are the parts that most of us as Africans do not own. We don't own anything in that regard. We don't own most of our banking facilities. We don't own most of our insurance, of our retail. So now when we have a stimulus like this that's been given to us as a gift, it's been given to us to build us, to empower ourselves. So now our work that we're doing right now is to go out there, educate people, and help them to empower their families, their communities, their nations, and the entire continent by creating one local community ecosystem at a time. That's where we're at right now with my partner right here, where we are saying, how do we learn from each other? How do we learn from each other's cultures and actually merge those cultures into one Lumi culture? Because now we're creating a new culture in the Lumi currency. So that's basically where we're at. We are piloting it in South Africa and in the UK, and it will spread to other parts of the world, like the Caribbeans and other parts of Africa. So yeah, there's a lot we are doing. I don't even know where to start.
I'm hearing this massive potential. It's absolutely amazing, the amount of potential in terms of, I mean, you're talking trillions, right? Yeah. Okay. So, and actually being able to enable people to access this, so that they can actually do business and trade amongst ourselves. So in terms of business, how do people actually, once they are, actually what would be good is to actually talk about the different levels of a Swifin account, because this is where the actual funds will be held, right?
Yeah, but before we even get to the Swifin account, you know, we need to understand the evolution of money, right? Because now this money is not coming into our bank accounts, like our normal bank accounts, as you have mentioned, it's going to the Swifin account. Now, using it as businesses, as individuals, we also just need to understand where money is coming from. Before there was money, there was commodity money, where you were just exchanging your commodities. And then it evolved to metal money, where we had coins made from minerals. It evolved to paper money, which was firstly backed by gold and later was backed on nothing at all.
Okay.
And now it is evolving into digital money. So that's what now we need to make our business people understand, the individual people understand that now we are in another era. Before, we used to have cash in hand, and it evolved to cards, to plastic cards. It evolved to mobile money, where you just like do a transaction using your phone. So at least people have an understanding of where money is coming from. It's not even that difficult to train them. So now the Swifen platform is the distribution platform for this new digital currency. When you open a digital wallet, you receive your Lumis through your digital wallet, and you cannot take your money out of your wallet. You have to transact with it digitally from one person to the other, peer to peer. For example, knowing the value of a Lumi, like one Lumi is 15.96 to a US dollar. That's huge. According to our currency, it's 250 Rand. So with 250 Rand, I can only buy one Lumi. That's a huge value. That's where we need to understand that we cannot want to convert it into another currency, because now we are devaluing the value of the currency. We must understand that the financial market is volatile. So if I convert my Lumi into a US dollar and it falls, it devalues my currency. So now we've got to use it within the system, within the ecosystem of its digital format, without us having to convert it into other currency. So right now we are building ecosystems, retail ecosystems, schools ecosystems, where we are teaching schools how they can accept Lumi as a way of payment for their school fees, and how they can pay their teachers, using the Lumi. We are teaching our business people that you don't have to convert. Look for a supplier that sells what you need, and you can negotiate and pay in Lumi, because there's value right here in this Lumi. And that supplier can also look for another merchant that can exchange their goods for the Lumi. And that's where we can actually have it saturated. Once it is saturated, then there is no need to convert it, because you can buy whatever you need to buy with the money that you have.
Can I just add to that? Because you asked the question, Radikal, about what kind of accounts. I can just speak to that part right there, because what Tammy's just explained is exactly what will happen once you start receiving it and how you can transact it. But the basics of when you register, you've got access to having an individual account, which would be your personal account. You have access to an agent account if you feel like you can become an agent and start registering people to receive the Lumi. You have a business and merchant account. Those four accounts are the main accounts that you can acquire on the platform. And what happens is, once you become signed up, you have to stipulate what kind of account you want, whether it's an individual, a business, agent account, or merchant account. And those accounts speak in different ways. Like if you have just the individual, you can only receive money, trade, you can buy things with the money on the platform or other platforms that take the Lumi. With the agent account, you can receive a commission for everybody that you sign up, and you also have access to what we call the credit line, which businesses also have access to. Once you register your business, you have access to a credit line of 626 Lumi, which is equivalent to 10,000 US dollars. That's a business. Now, going back to what Tammy said about the value of the one Lumi, 15.96 US dollars, 250 Rand. In the UK, that would translate to £10. £10 is one Lumi, or £11.50, should I say, is one Lumi in the UK. Sorry, excuse that noise there. And then what it is, with that now, then you can equate to yourself, how do I want to show up with regards to the Lumi? Because some people say to me, okay, I'll start off with an individual account, and then they say, well, I'd like to upgrade to a business account when they feel a bit more confident that they know what it's about and what it can do for them. So this is when you start to really get access to the opportunities that Tammy's just explained here. Once you either register for a business account, you become an agent or a merchant. You get access to the credit lines. And with those credit lines, this is where Lumi Africa comes in. We provide summits and we provide training to educate the people that sign up in Africa or in the diaspora about what you can do with those Lumis. We don't want our people to just go out there and say, okay, I've got 10,000 access to, and I just want to do this or anything, squander it. No, we want everybody to be focused and know what they're doing with when they access it. Because remember, it's only interest free until October 2023, and it still has to be paid back. All right. So on that note, I'm going to hand you back to Tammy and let her maybe finish up on that section. Or if you've got something.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So what are the requirements? Because I mean, it sounds like you say credit line, but you're saying that it has to be something constructive. So what are the requirements to qualify?
Right. The requirements for an individual account, all you need is your ID, your passport or your driving license to register for that. And then you just, obviously, you know, once you come on our website, you fill out all your name and all the details. You can upload all that information onto our website, and you can also stipulate what kind of account you want. But it would be good to come to some meetings before registering so you can find out exactly what those accounts do for you. Or if you want to do your own research, you can go click on the Eco6 or the Swifin website link on our website, and it will take you there, and you can read about what they do. But that's for the individual account anyway. And then for the agent account, that's just, you need to have an ID, again, a passport, but you got to have a different phone number. It won't take the same details unless you do it from within the account. That's what I'm saying. There's different ways of doing it. If we do it from within the account, we can just register it straight away. Some people don't even have an individual account that I've registered. They just say, I just want to be an agent, and that's it. So it depends on this. It's good to get some advice before you actually go and do it. Hence why we have our Telegram group where people can come and get support, advice, ask any questions they want to ask before registering, that kind of thing. I think it would be a very good idea for people to come on there, or send our Lumi Africa admin at Lumi Africa, Lumi.Africa, that's our email address, and then we can answer any questions. But for the business, you need to have your company registration details, your company registration, company proof of address, your ID, obviously your company phone number, and if you've got your company, your business card. That's a good start for the business. And as for being a merchant, you've got to have to look into that one a bit more as well, because being a merchant, it just not, if you wanted to make registering people and become an affiliate of Lumi Africa after that, as part of your business of being a merchant, that's another thing that we give as advice and support on as well, consultation. But then you have to become a member to get access to all of that. But there's a lot more to it. But that's the basics of what you need to register an account on the Swifin platform.
Where I'm trying to get to is, like, once you've registered your account as a business, is the credit automatically accessible?
Yes, it is. Automatically, it's there.
Okay. All right then.
All right.
That was something that needed to be clarified. So, okay, in terms of how are we gonna, like, get the message across? No. Yes, in terms of, really getting the point across to people that they can be empowered by this. I mean, I'm looking at resistance to people thinking this is too good to be true, or it's a scam, you know, these type of responses. So, I mean, what are the key points to really highlight in this?
Do you want to start, Jimmy, with that one?
Okay, I can.
Please.
Well, yeah, as you say, that we will have many people who are skeptical about it at first, who needs to be educated. Already we have come across people who I've actually had about 3 people who I signed up. And then a few days after I signed them up, they came back to me and said they want to deregister. I said, okay, but you've already signed up. Why do you want to deregister? And they said, no, we can't be part of this thing, this Illuminati thing. This is devil. This is evil. It's Illuminati money. And then, you know, you do come across those kind of people because of little knowledge.
Yes.
Because of lack of knowledge. The minute they hear the word Lumi, and they think it's Illuminati, because they were actually saying, where is this all money coming from? So much that can feed the entire continent and the diaspora. No, this must be evil money. So yeah, we do need a proper presence that will actually uphold the integrity of what we are representing, which is the Lumi currency. So we do have educational programs, training summits, where we train our people, give them information, well-researched information, and we also give them access to these summits where Mr. Timothy McPherson sits and talks, so that they can see that this is not a scam, one, and it is not evil. It's not Illuminati. It's coming from the word luminous, which means the sun, because it's backed by solar energy. So we do have programs in place. We have not implemented them yet. Why? Because we are still training them. We want our affiliate partners to go through a rigorous kind of a training so that we know that by the time they go out and represent this brand, they know every little thing about Lumi. So we know that people want to be associated with a brand of integrity if they want to be affiliates for that product or for that brand. Well, Jeff Bezos actually did a great job in 1996 when he introduced the internet marketing, the affiliate program. Little did he know that 25 years later, we will be using it as a cornerstone of the digital transformation agenda, which is what we're actually doing right now. Because the affiliate program is the best program that we can use, because there we can work with the influencers. We can work with other businesses who are already in the market, who have their own networks, in exchange for a little compensation. Wow. So yeah, we are there. We are almost there because we do have bi-weekly training programs where they come and they learn. And when we see that they are ready, we will introduce the affiliate program, but it's not in place as in now. We are finalizing it. We want to make sure that people are ready to go and market. For now, we're doing it ourselves. Yeah, maybe my partner, Miss Mariama, may take over from here.
Okay.
I just want to give you one example, really, Radikal, about how the Lumi is being implemented in business. I'll give you Jamaica, for example. We have a company in Jamaica called 876 Cars. And I learned about this company from going to the summit meetings as well. They take the Lumi, like they can transport anything or people or goods across Jamaica, and they accept Lumi as payment. We have another lady that does courses, NatFam training. She accepts Lumi for her courses. There's certain, obviously, there's certain prominent businesses right now that that are coming up. They're not all launched yet, but some are coming up. They will be accepting Lumi, and that's what's going to be one of the main ethos that we use with regards to any of our affiliate businesses. They will have to. One of the criteria is that you will have to be able to take the Lumi. Even if you're taking other currencies, we don't have a problem with that, but the Lumi will have to be involved in those range of currencies. So I hope that kind of answers that question.
Yes. I wanted to kind of clarify also, what is Lumi Africa specifically differently from, I don't know, Swifin or Lumi? You've got different websites, different departments. So how would you describe Lumi Africa particularly?
Well, in a few words, I'll say how I see it, and then I'll hand you over to Tammy, because Tammy's the one that's actually, she's created all the technical side that you see here, all the technical, when you log on to the website, click, it's all there. And then we both work together with the content, producing the content of what people will want, what they'll need, how easy is it to access, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to start with simply, because I'm not a major technical boss, but I know the practicalities of what people want. So all it is that we put, like Tammy said earlier on, we've got our own Lumi culture. We've created a Lumi culture. And within that Lumi culture, it speaks to everyday life. What do you need access to in everyday life? Need access to different economies, whether it's businesses, your school, your place of work, your entertainment, your leisure, this kind of thing, communication, social platform for communication. I mean, we have our own Lumi City, for example. We have our own Lumi City platform where Facebook's going to be made redundant because of Lumi Africa when it comes to our people. That's going to be the go-to place to communicate with the people that you want, create your groups, even have your own Zoom meetings or interviews like what we're doing right now. We're working on building that technology to make it bigger, better, and as strong as any other that you'll see out there, all in the name of Lumi Africa. So everything is going to be in one place, one big room.
Well, are you saying you're going to have a Lumi City inside of Lumi Africa?
Yes, we have it. We're not going to. We actually have it, and it's working.
Have it.
Tammy's going to explain more on that for you, but it's there.
A little bit more on the vision of this Lumi City.
Okay, first, before I go to Lumi City, let me just give you a brief on Lumi Africa. We have so many other, as you have mentioned, we have so many other websites and other in entities that are working on the distribution of the Lumi. But this is how we differentiate ourselves from the rest. Our unique advantage is offering what the rest is not.
All right.
We have Swiffen, that is just offering the digital platform to distribute the Lumi.
Okay.
Have EcoSix, that is the creator of the currency Lumi.
All right.
And we have SOWAD, which is the state of the African Diaspora, which is a state under that six economic communities, the sixth region, that is also responsible for its own governmental issues. And we have others like Lumi Marketplace, we have Lumination, we have all of that, but none of them is concentrating on how they can make the Lumi work for the people.
Yes. So you're talking practically.
Yes.
Yes, hands-on.
And this is what Lumi Africa is doing. You know, we are not about talking, but we are about acting. We have very short time left, 2.5 years. Well, we can't build Africa in 2.5 years, but we can build the foundations. And this is what we're doing, because a lot of people are coming to us and saying, how do we use the Lumi? People are frustrated. Not all of us have the mind to think of creating ecosystems. So we as Lumi Africa, we are creating the platforms for those ecosystems where we know that everybody is going to be able to use their Lumi within this ecosystem. Now, unfortunately, for now, because this currency is still very new, it still needs fiat currency to build it up. For example, we have suppliers that are not taking the Lumi currency right now, and we have our business people who are sitting with 10,000 worth of US dollars that they need to use to build their businesses. So what we are doing is we are partnering with financial institutions to say, can you pay invoices for our business people that have the Lumi in their hands? So now what the investors will do, we are finalizing those as well. So what the investors will do, they will go and pay their invoices so that they can be able to be in an operational state where they can work. But now this is how we're going to recirculate these Lumis back into the circulation, because we don't want to convert the Lumis.
Yeah.
And left with the same currency that we are trying to actually get rid of, if I can put it that way. So the suppliers will be paid in Lumi, but the businesses that are being supported financially against their Lumis, they will have to accept Lumis in their businesses as a form of payment. So now that Lumi is actually coming back, circling back. And in that way, as we build these ecosystems, we know that at least there is something, because we must be very realistic. For anything that's new, that does not have infrastructure. It needs to piggyback on some infrastructure that's already there. We have challenger banks, neon banks that are piggybacking on the existing big banks, shadowing banking licenses. You know, all that is happening. We have the mobile network operator, where we have MVNOs that are piggybacking on the big mobile network operators. So now we do need a little bit of fiat currency to be able to pay those suppliers who are not taking Lumis by now. And the minute we have the numbers, that narrative is going to change. Because the minute we have the numbers and we have our Lumi, we don't need a fiat currency, because now we will be having a full ecosystem that's there working, where you have banking, you have all these insurances, all the things that you need in the retail space you have, and you can buy it in Lumi. Then we don't need another currency. So now this is where Lumi differentiates itself, by saying, let's create these ecosystems everywhere in all industries, not only in retail, not only in schools, not only in manufacturing, but in every little industry. Let's create these ecosystems so that we can be able to use this Lumi, and our people can be able to use Lumi without looking outside the Lumi nation. And another way we are actually differentiating ourselves in terms of creating a unique edge or a unique advantage. My sister has already said it by saying that we are creating the Lumi cities, right? And the Lumi city is something it's totally different. It's a virtual city, one. Two, within this virtual city, we have our own social media platform like Facebook, which we control. Because right now, we don't want, after 3 years, when the Lumi distribution, when the stimulus is finished, we look back and we ask, what have we done? We need to be able to point to things that are tangible, that we can touch, where we can say we have created this for ourselves that we own. You know, we own our own data, we own our own infrastructure, our own systems. That's what we're actually working on, is Lumi Africa. And we've already started now with the Lumi City, with our social media platform.
So you're really talking about an online presence that is globally and representing all different industries.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Sounds good. I just wanted to ask one thing about the Lumi City. Was the Ola Awards? I noticed this was on the website. I didn't see any explanation. What's this about?
Ola Awards. Oh, well, it's an acronym for Our Lumi Africa.
Okay. And
Our Lumi Africa.
Who are going to be the contestants for these awards? Who's going to qualify for these awards? What are the requirements?
The business people that we are trying to assist now so that they can be operational. We are not just going to assist them to be operational. They need to prove themselves that they have to be assisted, because, for example, if I get this $10,000 or 626 Lumis and I start chicken farming, I am not going to fold my hands and wait for Lumi Africa or wait for Swiffen to come and tell me where the market is. It's easy to go and get the market, because now you're going to the people and say, I'm selling chickens. You don't have money? Come, let me register you so that you can get the monthly stimulus and you can come buy from me. How many clients or customers will you have like that? Because now they're not taking from their pocket, they are taking from the gift that they've been given to go and buy something from themselves. And not only to buy chickens, but now we are educating communities to go and educate other communities, not just to sell them food, but to teach them how to produce these themselves, because we want to replicate the production and the supply so that it's not concentrated in fewer hands.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we are doing as Lumi Africa.
Interesting. And I think when you mentioned the ecosystems, very interesting, because I think, yes, that is gonna be the way forward. Okay, so I did have a question about merchandise, because I mean that's another way of promoting Lumi. If you've got a lot of people walking around with Lumi as a name brand, you know, that could be fashionable.
Oh yeah.
That.
Yeah. But we've already devised and conceptualized the Lumi Africa brand and merch brand, and we will be launching it, and it will be part of our affiliate program. So anybody that wants to stock our merchandise, we can speak about it. We can get you signed up to the program. Anybody?
Huh? I'm ready now for some Lumi merch.
You're ready? Well, you're already signed up, so we can. Well, once you become a member, and then yeah, you'll be privy to that.
I want a Lumi hoodie.
You gotta become a member, and you can. And then
you know what? Actually, while we are still talking about the virtual city, the Lumi city, it's not only about that social media network. We are currently working on designing our virtual city, which will be, I think, one of the first cosmopolitan virtual city that the world has ever seen. Right now, we're not doing anything new by creating virtual cities. I mean, we have Singapore that have replicated their physical city into a virtual city that's simulating the actual city. We have India that are busy with their smart city called Amaravati, something like that. And we have Norway as well, where they are creating their own virtual city. They are gamifying and digitizing, virtual cities. That's exactly where we are as Lumi City. We are building this city in the cloud. That's going to be exactly the same city as the one that we have on the ground. That's going to digitize, and that's going to gamify every little industry, from your automobile to your retail to your banking to everything, and what's going to be nice about this city is going to be very inclusive, because we know that gaming currently claims over 3.28 trillion US dollars in terms of revenue.
Massive.
Now that's where we want to tap in as Lumi City, because we can't run away from the fact that we are in the middle of the fourth industrial revolution, the digital revolution, and we've got to move with the wave, unfortunately. So moving with the wave, it means now there's going to be some kind of a convergence between these generations, the old and the young, and that's where they meet, in the gaming space. So that's why we actually want to tap into that and gamify every little industry using our city. You still got to see flames, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We're working on something very, very, very big.
Cutting edge, groundbreaking.
Extremely more than cutting edge.
Trailblazing, So it's just, just
I want to play my part. So you're gonna have to find a role for me to play a part. I mean, as a producer, I produce content, and
well,
certainly.
I remember you were saying music section. That's the part that I deal with as well. All that product placement and everything. Yeah,
help to build.
We can do this.
So I think we're trying to close to that time now. So what kind of rate are we seeing in terms of growth? Are we seeing you said like in Jamaica it's very popular. Mm-hmm. Are we starting to see that growth in the continent now?
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah.
As a result of Lumi Africa, yes, we are. I mean, it's daily. It's massive, and I'm proud to say this is the movement right here that's creating that all that energy. What's happening right now in Africa? It's big. It's massive. And also, just one more thing I need to add as well is, initially as well, prior to becoming part of this team, I had an initiative called Lumi Laptops for Lumi, where we were raising funds to, give a young person an opportunity to have access to equipment that he very much needed. So I put out a call to all the people that I knew that were either signing up to the Lumi or had already signed up, and said, would you like to have an opportunity to get more Lumi? Because another question a lot of people ask is, how can I get more Lumi? Can I buy it? What can I do? And I'm like, hold on a minute. Do you want to invest in here? This is an opportunity for you to get more Lumi. All you've got to do is give it a donation or a gift to this particular initiative. And that person in kind, because they had their Lumi sitting there in an account. A lot of young people in Africa and the Caribbean have a Lumi sitting in accounts, and they want things and they can't always access it on the marketplace that's available. So what we've done here now, what I've done, right, and now we've created a new baby here, I'm going to tell you all about that, is that we tested the market, saw how it worked, were able to provide it. A number of people that were part of the group that was initially set up gave the fiat currency in exchange for the Lumi, and the Lumi was given to them. Money sent. As soon as that was done, money sent over to Africa. The young person is getting their laptop. Great. Now, in joining with Lumi Africa now, we've expanded that now, and what we have now is something called the Lumi Exchange, which is going to be a platform, a trading platform for that particular purpose, and then more. You know, so it's going to be the place where you will bring your fiat for different initiatives that are set up. We've got another one coming up soon, actually, for Ghana. I'd like to present that at the end of the week, but we've got one for Ghana coming up, and everybody will have an opportunity to invest their fiat in exchange for Lumi. And Tammy can explain to you more, because that vision is wider now. Tammy can explain to you a little bit more about how that's going to translate now in terms of Lumi Africa. So over to you, Tammy, Lumi Exchange.
Whew, Lumi Exchange. Well, actually, Lumi Exchange is a very...
give us a summary. Just give us a summary, because we're going to be closing up soon.
Yeah, it's a great platform, because remember, we were talking about people sitting with their Lumis. They don't know how and where to use their Lumis, and they still need a little bit of fiat to do some things that they can't do with the Lumi. So now this exchange, it's more of a commodity exchange, whether we are exchanging money for goods and stuff, but we are making sure that whatever is exchanged or whatever is converted on this platform does not go to you as cash. It has to go to what you need. If you want to buy machinery, it has to go to machinery. If you want to buy a laptop, like our young Nigerian brother who bought a laptop with it. So we want to make sure that we use this platform to empower those who have the Lumis but can't use it, until such time where now the Lumi can be used freely without having to be converted into any other currency or exchanged for any other currency.
All right. Excellent. Well, okay, I would like you to give a scenario. I'll give you a scenario of somebody right now who may be in Africa or is in Africa, and they're, for example, an hairdresser, and they've just suffered a lot of financial loss, struggling right now, and you approach them and you say, maybe Lumi can help. How would you say to them that Lumi can work for them and help them to get their business up and running again?
Do you want to answer that one, Tammy?
Yes,
I can, yes. Obviously, we would like to assist, but we always want to make sure that we don't come and assist you to pay off your debt.
Okay.
Assist you to empower yourself so you can make the money to go pay your debt. Right? So you're not going to come to us and say, I owe 150,000 Rand. Can you please pay that for me? No, we're not going to pay that for you, but we're going to help you pay it. Right. So you get into Lumi Africa, you get into the platform, we make you part of our family, and we will empower you in terms of using platforms like ours, like Lumi Exchange. What do you need? What kind of business can you make? And we can help you in terms of the market as well. We will empower you. We will help you create your own market. Then you will have money to pay off your debt, and you will still have excess money to go invest and save.
Okay, so it's a process, basically.
It is a process.
No quick fix with this.
No, there's no quick fix here, unfortunately.
All right, so it's going to be highly...
And it's a partnership as well. It's a partnership. It's not just
building their infrastructures, and they're utilizing the networks that they have already. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, everybody knows people. They've, you know, everyone's got a network. So it makes sense for the individual to now build, and using Lumi as a tool for empowering.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. Yep.
Okay, so
To motivate,
any final
inspire,
comments
empower.
you'd like to make before we wrap up? I'm not sure if this Zoom is gonna time out.
I've just made my last one. Lumi Africa,
All
UK
right.
Diaspora is here to motivate, inspire, and empower.
Oh yeah,
Tammy, anything else to add?
You've just said it all. You've just said it all.
And you know, I feel that we're gonna have to have some more as we progress, because I could see, you know, Lumi blooming, basically blooming, blooming. Yeah, I could see it happening, and I'd like to I like to feature the developments, basically.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep you informed. I'll be sending you press releases to let you know at each stage what new part we're launching. So you'll get press releases for that.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
You'll be on the list.
Right. So thank you again, Tammy, all the way from South Africa, and Mariama in my local London city. Okay, thanks again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
또 많은 것이 변화우를 갈라섰다고 난 변하지 않았어. You know what have I done to you? I wrote my life, but before I sent it you were far away. This I can never reach you. 이 노래 듣게 된다면 이미 늦었어. This I can never reach you. I'm all in the heart 땡기더라. to